Hello, Salford Council, we have a warrant to enter the premises. Can you open up, please?
It's 7 a.m. In Salford, the council's housing enforcement squad believes the landlord of this property is breaking the law. This raid is a culmination of months of work by Rob Turner and his team, and we've been given exclusive access to their investigation.
So we're going to go in with the locksmith to enter the property to check it's safe. We've had previous issues with the landlord in terms of non-compliance. There might be children in there, so we'll be doing the warrant quite sensitively. Most recently we did a warrant similar to what we're doing today, and we found 17 people living in a 3-bedroom flat and a baby there. So 17 people in the property.
What right do you have as the council to go into a privately owned property to do this?
We have powers to enter all property across the city. There's very little that can damage your health more than poor housing. So if you're living in cold, damp, unsafe housing, then it's really quite serious.
The team have received information that this property is in a dangerously poor condition. Wearing body cameras and with CCTV monitoring across the road, neither the tenants nor the landlord are given any prior warning of their arrival.
Salford Council Housing Standards team, we've got a warrant to enter the premises to inspect it.
As the team begin their inspection, we immediately find a giant hole in the ceiling of the corridor with exposed wiring. In the kitchen upstairs, we find rodent droppings alongside empty poison boxes. Wallpaper is peeling off the walls, the flooring is falling apart, but Rob's biggest concern is something he's found on the top floor.
A fridge on a means of escape is a big no-no. You'll be aware of the disasters that can occur with fridges failing and catching fire. So to have this on a communal means of escape where you have 2 people asleep in bed on an attic floor, where the only way out will be to jump through a window.
It's bolted on the
And behind the fridge, a job for the locksmith.
Just bash
Rob wants to see what's on the other side of this bolted door. Inside, piles and piles of children's clothes and pushchairs. It's linked to next door's shop, and without any fire doors, Rob fears a fire would rip through this store cupboard.
This wall, which is the party wall between the 2 buildings, isn't fireproof. I wouldn't like to be in here in a fire situation.
The landlord is renting out 4 rooms to 4 separate groups of people. I'm shown this small bedroom, where an Eastern European couple are renting it out for £350 per month.
I'm the owner of the room of the upstairs.
You rent that room upstairs, yeah?
Tenants in the other rooms are being charged a similar rate.
The more people you put in a property, the more rent you get. So it's profitable to maximise the amount of space, because every one of these units provides rent. It's quite an income over a 12-month period. This is typical of the lower end of the rental market.
So this is what you find on a pretty regular basis?
Yes, this is typically what we find in this particular type of property.
The team has also discovered the landlord does not have the correct licence for the amount of people living here. The correct licence requires him to clean and maintain the communal areas, the kitchen, the corridors and the landings, something he clearly isn't doing.
I think people who have very little choice in where they can live are exploited, whether they realise that or not. But I do not think this is value for money, even at the rental levels. The gentleman we just talked to earlier on, who's paying with his partner £350 a month, he's living in a room that's probably about 7 metres squared. It's smaller than a bedsit room. There has to be a basic minimum standard that we accept, and this premises, falls below that standard.
With the inspection over, Rob now wants to speak to the landlord. Outside, they're approached by his father, who actually owns the property. And as Rob shows him what they found, it's clear he sees very little wrong with the state it's in.
We think this property's not in great condition. Do you think this is okay, or you think this is okay?
Yeah, excellent condition.
Excellent condition.
Yeah.
Right. No, that's not okay. That's not okay.
If they're not okay, they can put it in the room.
Right. The reason that's not okay is because if that catches fire, the people who are sleeping there can't escape.
Take it in the room.
How would you describe the quality of this building?
Nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with it?
No, I don't think so.
You're not concerned about how unclean it is?
The
holes in the wall,
cleaning is
hole in the ceiling.
If when landlord live in the New York, he not come for the cleaning, That's the people who live inside, they then job to clean, not the landlord job.
Is that true?
Well,
Is that
well
his job?
if it's let as a house in multiple occupation, which this now is with the 5 people in,
Of course.
then you do have responsibility for the common areas.
All right.
Following the inspection, the council has decided to issue the landlord with a civil penalty, which can be as high as £30,000. It will also follow up with an overcrowding and improvement notice.
We can close it down. That particular property, I would say, is borderline on that really, but there are certainly serious fire issues there.
This is one property in one council area with only one housing enforcement team. Their worry is for the properties like this they don't see, where they don't get the chance to step in while they still can.